ranked 361st in the world. Never played a Grand Slam main draw. Coming off 9 months of ACL recovery. Given a wild card out of pity. Then Lois Boisson walked onto the clay courts of Roland Garros and rewrote the rules of what's possible in professional tennis. In 2 weeks, she went from French number 24 to French number 1, defeated 3 top 10 players, and became the first wild card to reach a Roland Garros semifinal in the Open era. This isn't just an underdog story. It's a masterclass in how mentality, home advantage, and fearless ambition can shatter every expectation. Today, we're breaking down the 3 lessons that tennis legend Patrick Mouratoglou says every athlete must learn from tennis's most impossible Cinderella story.
What Lois Boisson accomplished defies everything we know about sports psychology and ranking systems. When you're ranked outside the top 300, you're not supposed to have the mental frameworks to handle pressure against elite opponents. Yet she displayed better emotional regulation than seasoned top 10 players. Her story represents a perfect storm of psychological factors that most athletes never experience in their entire careers.
Patrick Mouratoglou has coached Serena Williams, Naomi Osaka, and other legends. When he identifies 3 specific lessons from an unknown player's breakthrough, we need to listen. Boisson's run wasn't luck, it was a case study in how the right mindset can overcome massive talent and experience gaps. Her wins over Jessica Pegula and Mura Andreeva weren't flukes. They were systematic dismantling of mental hierarchies that keep lower-ranked players in their place.
But before we dive into the lessons, we need to understand who Lois Boisson really is, because her background makes this story even more extraordinary. Coach Thompson, take us to Dijon.
The small city dreamer, Lois Boisson was born in Dijon, not exactly a tennis hotbed. Daughter of a former professional basketball player, so athleticism runs in the family, but tennis wasn't obvious. At age 8, coach Patrick Larros spotted her at a local club and immediately knew he'd found something special. He said, "In 2 minutes, I could see she was a bomb. She ran like crazy, had diabolical accuracy and racket skills with extraordinary speed qualities. He'd never seen anything like it."
What's remarkable is her obsession level from childhood. Her mother told coaches that when Lois came home, she would teach tennis to her dolls. This wasn't a normal little girl, tennis consumed her thoughts completely. But she had a major flaw: explosive emotions. Her early coach had to remove her from courts during tantrums because she was very perfectionist, therefore frustrated. She'd scream, "I'm useless," after missing serves. That emotional volatility could have ended her career before it started.
Her playing style was always unique: heavy topspin forehand that bounces and jumps, slicing backhand, incredible court coverage. Her early coach said her serve speeds rivaled Sabalenka's and her tactical variety was atypical for women's tennis. She turned professional in 2021, tried to qualify for Roland Garros that year but failed. By 2024, she'd climbed to around number 152 in the world, respectable but hardly elite level.
Then came the moment that almost ended everything. Dr. Rodriguez, walk us through the injury that changed her trajectory.
The breaking point that became the making point. May 2024, exactly 1 week before her planned Roland Garros debut, the moment she'd worked toward her entire life, Lois tears her ACL. Not just any injury, but one requiring 9 months of rehabilitation. Her ranking plummeted outside the top 500. Most players would see this as career devastation, but Boisson used those 9 months differently. She worked intensively with a psychologist, transforming her greatest weakness, emotional volatility, into her greatest strength, unshakable composure.
The comeback in early 2025 was gradual, but something fundamental had changed. The emotional tantrums were gone, replaced by clinical focus. Roland Garros gave her a wild card, essentially a sympathy entry based on her number 152 special ranking from before the injury. She was the 24th ranked French player, meaning 23 countrywomen were considered better prospects. That's the context that makes what happened next absolutely mind-blowing.
Now let's dive into what she actually accomplished. Dr. Rodriguez, paint the picture of the impossible.
The impossible achievement. Walking into her first Grand Slam main draw, Boisson systematically demolished 3-seeded players: 24th seed Elise Mertens, 3rd seed Jessica Pegula, and 6th seed Mura Andreeva. She'd never even played anyone in the top 50 before this tournament. Yet she not only competed, she dominated, reaching the semifinals where 15,000 French fans chanted her name and sang La Marseillaise during warm-ups.
The statistical impossibility is staggering. She's only the second player in 40 years ranked outside the top 300 to beat multiple top 10 opponents at the same event. The first was Serena Williams in 1997. Think about that, it took one of the greatest athletes in history to set that precedent. Boisson joined Monica Seles and Jennifer Capriati as only the third woman since 1980 to reach Grand Slam semifinals on debut. In 2 weeks, she went from French number 24 to French number 1, jumping over 300 ranking spots.
Now let's dive into Mouratoglou's first lesson. Coach Thompson, break down, anything can happen.
Lesson 1, anything can happen. Mouratoglou said, anyone can beat anyone in tennis, which we knew theoretically. But when a player ranked 360th beats the world number 3 then number 6 consecutively, it proves the theory. This destroys the myth of invincibility that rankings create. Remember, Boisson never played anyone in the top 50 before Roland Garros, yet she systematically dismantled Jessica Pegula and Mura Andreeva, players with years of Grand Slam experience and superior resources.
What's psychologically fascinating is how she approached these matches. She prepared the same way whether facing a qualifier or a top 10 player. This ranking blindness is incredibly rare. Most players unconsciously adjust their confidence based on opponent reputation. Boisson treated every match as winnable, which fundamentally altered her risk-taking and shot selection. When you truly believe anyone can beat anyone, your entire tactical approach changes.
The second lesson gets to the heart of elite performance. Dr. Rodriguez, explain the mental game revelation.
Lesson 2, tennis is mental. Mouratoglou observed, when you look at the matches, she has been the more stable emotionally. We saw Pegula, we saw Andreeva go through mental ups and downs. This is extraordinary. Boisson, a 22-year-old in her first Grand Slam, displayed better emotional regulation than seasoned professionals. Remember, her early coach described her as very emotional, prone to tantrums. But during her injury recovery, she worked intensively with a psychologist. The result? Unshakable composure under impossible pressure.
The transformation is remarkable. Her early coach said he sometimes had to remove her from court during tantrums because she was very perfectionist, therefore frustrated. Fast forward to Roland Garros. She's saving match points with aces, hitting drop shots under pressure, maintaining tactical discipline when Grand Slam finalists are losing composure. That level of mental evolution typically takes years. Her injury forced accelerated psychological development that most players never achieve.
The third lesson reveals something profound about performance psychology. Dr. Rodriguez, break down the crowd factor.
Lesson 3, the power of home crowd. Mouratoglou said, when you don't feel you have to deliver because your ranking is low, so you have nothing to lose, and the crowd is behind you fully, then it's incredible the power of that. This creates what we call optimal anxiety, enough arousal to perform at peak levels without the paralysis of overwhelming pressure. 15,000 people chanting Louis, Louis, and singing La Marseillaise created an energy that elevated her performance beyond normal capabilities.
The nothing-to-lose mentality is psychologically liberating. Higher-ranked players carry expectation weight they're supposed to win. Boisson was expected to lose gracefully, which paradoxically freed her to play aggressively. Combined with 15,000 French fans treating her like a national hero, she accessed flow states that normally require years of mental training. The crowd didn't just support her, they literally lifted her performance to superhuman levels.
What do these lessons tell us about human potential beyond tennis? Dr. Rodriguez, what's the broader message?
Boisson's story reveals that traditional hierarchies often exist more in our minds than in reality. Rankings, credentials, experience, they create psychological barriers that can be shattered by the right mindset. Her journey from emotional teenager to composed champion shows that mental skills can be developed rapidly under the right conditions. Most importantly, she proved that when you combine genuine self-belief with supportive environment and nothing-to-lose mentality, extraordinary performances become possible.
The lesson extends to any competitive environment. How often do we limit ourselves based on perceived hierarchies? Boisson never accepted that ranking meant destiny. She said, "My dream is to win Roland Garros, not just reach the semifinals." That audacious goal setting, combined with tactical intelligence and emotional stability, created conditions for the impossible. She's proof that with the right psychology, anyone can compete at the highest levels.
Dr. Rodriguez, Coach Thompson, what we've analyzed isn't just tennis history. It's a blueprint for achieving the impossible. Lois Boisson's transformation from emotional teenager to Grand Slam semifinalist proves that mental evolution can happen rapidly under pressure. Her systematic defeats of top 10 players show that belief can overcome experience. And her embrace of home crowd energy demonstrates how environment can elevate performance beyond normal limits. Patrick Mouratoglou's 3 lessons, anything can happen, tennis is mental, and crowds have power, apply far beyond Roland Garros. They're principles for anyone facing impossible odds in any arena. Boisson went from French number 24 to French number 1 in 2 weeks. From a small city dreamer teaching tennis to dolls to captivating 15,000 fans singing La Marseillaise. Her modern Cinderella story isn't about magic. It's about what becomes possible when talent meets the right mindset at the perfect moment. Sometimes the biggest obstacles aren't your opponents, they're the limiting beliefs about what's supposed to be possible. Lois Boisson just proved that those beliefs are often completely wrong.